All right, so we're in FHM Magazine, the latest
yeah.
issue, the February issue with Terry Hatcher on the cover. And we tell one of our stories, True Story of the Month. And it's illustrated. They gave us a whole page. It was our little Thanksgiving thing we did.
This bit, by the way, it definitely bordered on the wacky.
You think?
You know?
Well,
yeah, it's one of those kind of, it sounds like a radio-type gag, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think... I don't know. It didn't turn out as a wacky bit.
No, it certainly didn't. That's why it went horribly wrong.
There were cops involved and everything.
Horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong. Well, basically, I mean, you got to pick up the magazine just to see the illustrations. They're pretty funny. But basically, this is what happened. It says, Opie, in November 1997, we had this competition where we were going to let 50 turkeys loose in a field, and listeners would get a chance to catch one.
Thanksgiving was coming around, the holidays, so we figured we'd have a contest. It was called Catch Your Own Turkey.
Catch Your Own Turkey. We're thinking, let's go back to the old days when you really had to go out in the field and get dinner.
Yeah, because, Thanksgiving, holiday dinner, you got all the food on the table, and it was pretty easy. You just went to the store and picked it up. But we were talking about, the olden days where you actually had to go out there and hunt your own stuff.
And we figured we'd do that.
We kind of wanted to bring that back.
We figured we'd do that in the middle of Framingham, Massachusetts.
Oh, the mutants that would come from Lowell. With the weapons.
Yeah, so then Anthony says here in the illustration, callers told us about the crazy makeshift weapons they made with hockey sticks, rakes, nets, hammers, anything to catch a turkey. So we mentioned this on the air, and then the listeners started calling like crazy. They were buying it hook, line, and sinker right away, and they're like, can we just bring anything? Can we bring guns? We're like, well, you can't bring guns. No guns, but anything else.
It has to be a hand weapon.
So like, well, can I bring a hockey stick? Can me and my friend bring like a fishing net?
I want to bring a baseball bat with nails in it. We're like, yeah, sure, bring it.
Chainsaw. I mean, the things they came up with were just, more wacky than the bit itself, Anthony.
And they were really psyched to do this.
Right.
And we were getting calls from the ASPCA. Very angry calls from animal rights activists. They did not want us to go forward with this.
It was a pretty big story for the time.
Oh, of course it was.
And then, the day came that we were going to do this in this field in Framingham. So we drove up to this vacant field in Framingham, Massachusetts, in our massive WAF rock bus. Remember that thing? That was awesome.
Yeah.
The things we saw in that bus.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, did we see things.
I know out the window that day, though, we were seeing lots of mullets. Oh, those Massachusetts. You definitely weren't getting the cultured, educated people from Boston coming to this event.
They came out of the woodwork for this one.
It was mullets from Lowell.
It was
Worcester.
And
Worcester,
yeah. It was like a touring bus for bands, but it was our broadcast center. There were hundreds of listeners who showed up, all with stuff that looked like they're going after Frankenstein. Yeah, they pretty much had everything except like the torches lit.
Looked like an angry mob.
And we could not believe that the people were showing up. With their baseball bats and their hockey sticks and their crowbars and their pitchforks and golf clubs. I mean, you name it, they had it.
Everyone had the secondary video game weapons that you only have when you don't have any guns on you.
Yeah.
That you got to break out.
Yeah.
A shovel.
Exactly. All right. And the illustrations is really, really fantastic in this little piece.
We're going to have to scan it or something.
All right, So then we told everyone that the turkeys were out there in the field. I mean, this was a huge field. And we're like, oh, no, they're a good quarter mile away. You got to get out there because the turkeys are a little scared, so they're far out there in the woods.
Some dopes had turkey calls, those things that they would, blow into.
Yeah, they showed up with, I forgot that, with hunting gear and everything,
wearing camo,
too. Camo and stuff.
Mutants.
So we told everyone that the turkeys were out there. Then we counted down to 3 and let them loose. What we didn't tell them was that we had actually put paper turkeys out in the field, not real ones. That was the gag.
Paper turkeys?
Paper. Did I mess up that word too?
No,
right?
you said put. So
put.
You said it so correctly, so perfectly that I figured I'd say paper.
I walk around my neighborhood now just going put.
Do it fast, and people think you're driving an imaginary car. Put.
Yeah, that was the gag. We hid stupid paper turkeys, but the listeners bought it hook, line, and sinker.
See, that's a little zany.
I know.
Hey, it's paper turkeys.
Up in the tree.
Yeah, we had them under some leaves, near some rocks, out in the field.
And they're not real turkeys, obviously. And if they caught it says here if they caught a paper turkey, but if they found one of these paper turkeys, they would bring it back to the rock bus we were broadcasting in. And we're thinking they wouldn't be pissed off. And we're like, thanks for being part of the gag. And we give them a gift certificate for a frozen turkey for their family for Thanksgiving.
They
Simple,
can go
right?
down to Shaw's and pick up a turkey.
Yeah. So,
My Chester loves turkey. He also loves prime rib.
he obviously did like the prime rib that day.
But he didn't like kicks in the side.
He definitely liked the prime rib, Anthony. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. And so did I after I rinsed it out under the sink to get all the dog hair off it.
You must have been hungry, man.
I was very hungry that day.
You got to be hungry if you're willing to kill a dog and
I
eat.
didn't kill no dog.
Oh, okay.
Stop with the rumors.
All right.
All I know is my prime rib was on the rug.
The dog was doing coke.
Where the cat liked to, lay and
right.
And there was a lot of cat hair and dog hair on it, so I decided to just rinse it out under the sink and enjoy my prime rib as the Knicks were in the playoffs.
Chester, is that you? What happened?
All I remember, though, is I was upstairs in the kitchen getting, some soda pop or something.
Uh-huh.
And I love how the only pieces of this story get out at a time.
Got to put it together like a puzzle, I guess.
That's right. That's why this show is so brilliant. We make you listen longer with the soap opera.
Longer.
So I remember, the Knicks were about to begin. They were in the playoffs. I had my prime rib dinner on a little TV tray, nice baked potato, little salad.
Potato?
Little butter for the potato. Everything was perfect.
Nice, right?
Perfect prime rib.
Big game coming on.
I'm like, I need a refreshment.
Sure you do.
So I went upstairs to get the soda pop, and your mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, all I remember her saying is, "Why is Chester down in the basement?"
Chester, why are you in the basement? And Opie's upstairs like, oh my God, just picturing his big, juicy
you remember, this dog begged all the time for food. So obviously it smelled my prime rib and went down to the basement, and that's the only part of the story I will be sharing today.
Oh my goodness. But when you're up there and you're getting your little sody pop, and my ex-mother-in-law goes, Chester, where are you? Why are you in the basement?
Oh, dude,
you must have I had no doubt. Oh my God, my prime rib.
I had no doubt in my mind what was going on downstairs.
Yeah, it's not like the dog's sitting there waiting for you to come down so he can ask if he could have some. Dogs just don't operate that way.
Anyway, back to the story. So our listeners are out in the field and they're looking for these live turkeys with their homemade weapons. And it says here in FHM Magazine, this bamboozling plan lasted for less than 5 minutes before people saw the paper turkeys and said, "What the F is this?"
Yes, they did.
We were on our loudspeaker trying to explain. Yeah, we were, remember? Because now we're realizing people are starting to get really pissed off in the field.
People, please calm down. You will get your turkeys. Return the paper turkeys to us, and you will get gift certificates for turkeys. Everyone wins, right?
Yeah, we got T-shirts and everything else. Remember? We had all sorts of stuff.
Screw you. You guys are assholes. So were they pissed?
So
yelling.
Yeah, so we're on the loudspeaker trying to explain. No, it's okay. You bring one back and you get a free frozen turkey. It's all good. That wasn't good enough for these people.
Nope.
And this is the God's honest truth.
They wanted to kill stuff.
All of a sudden, it was like a mob mentality.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you see them kind of gathering in the field, and they all start looking at us broadcasting a quarter mile away at the rock bus with our little headphones on, thinking, oh, we're all just having fun today. And, they started running toward the rock bus. This is a true story.
Let's get them, boys.
There was a bloodthirst that just wasn't satisfied, so they all came charging back at us. We ran to batten down the hatches. Being the pussies that we really are, we ran into the rock bus.
Pussies? Dude, it's a mob with improvised weaponry that woke up that morning with the reason and expectation of killing something.
Yeah.
With their bare hands or some improvised weapon.
Remember, it was already snowing up there,
Yeah.
so there was like, it was like ice.
Ice, yeah.
It was
like
kind of like ice
ice
balls.
Yep.
It wasn't like a nice fluffy snow. It was
No.
just that, good packing ice type of snowball.
Frigid winter in Massachusetts. Ugh.
So we're like, holy ass, and we jump into this huge rock bus. This is so true, man. We ran to batten down the hatches, and they began throwing rocks and anything they could find, including these, like, ice balls. Norton's laughing. And we're still, like, trying to, like, we're still screaming out the window as
We're standing up, and the rock bus had some big picture windows
Right.
in it, especially in the back.
Yeah.
So we were kind of on the loudspeaker, but they could see us through the windows, and we're smiling like, no, it's cool, everyone,
So we thought maybe just a few ice balls,
Yeah.
no real damage done. Maybe a couple rocks. We'll get the dents out, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Then they start taking their weapons, remember, and start beating up the rock
Pounding on the
bus.
side of the bus with their improvised weapons.
So, and we're still trying. I think the loudspeaker or through the windows, I forget now. And we're still yelling, "You still got your turkeys! You still got your turkeys!" But they didn't care.
No.
And they continued. Then these effers started breaking windows with their weapons of mass destruction.
And
they did.
throwing the rocks,
Breaking
and
all the
ice
windows.
at the windows.
And then they started rocking the bus. Remember that?
That's when we hit the deck.
Yeah. So, yeah, they were rocking the bus so they could drag us out of it. We were so scared we broadcasted from the floor. Remember under that table?
Yeah.
We're under this table thinking we're well protected, and we continue our broadcast as the quote staff. It was Otto, our good pal Otto, was like calling the authorities to help us out because we weren't leaving this place without help.
Yeah, it was a mess. They wanted blood. They wanted to kill something or hurt something with the weapons they made, and since there weren't any turkeys, it was us. It was us.
Right.
That was it. Go after the hosts of the program that sent them out there.
And we're broadcasting live, and all you hear is just slam, slam against the rock
That
bus.
was awful.
And then, this just ends in FHM Magazine basically saying, these were our hardened, devoted fans, and they wanted to kill something, us. That was the problem. These were our faithful listeners, and we pissed them off that bad.
Listening to...
And don't forget the WAF Christmas party. Get your tickets now.
Like Opie's still trying to read the liners and stuff.
Yeah.
Coming up, the new one from Limp Bizkit. Stick around. Oh, Jesus. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. People, you'll get your turkeys.
You're listening to the only station that really rocks.
WAAF. Oh.
That was awful.
Orange 9mm on the way.
The consummate professional.
And then, of course, our stupid midget boss, he was no help to us that day either.
Boys, Brucey Mittman.
I told you, boys, not to mess with your listeners.
I told you there was going to be a problem when they were surprised. I know these animals that live out there. I live in Jewton, Mass, so I know the nice area. Anything outside of Jewton are animals. Oh, God.
I'll bail you boys out again.
Again, boys.
What are we doing? A talk show now, boys?
Yes, we are, Brucey.
Yes, we are.
Relax.
For the entire country now.
Stupid.
So glad you saw the vision back then, you idiot.
Why don't you get back to playing the music?
Are we now talking for 15 to 20 minutes at a time, boys?
What do you think? People want to hear you talking or a butt trumpet? Why don't you pop in the butt trumpet song?
Oh, you're ugly.
You're ugly by butt trumpet. That's what they want to hear, not your babble.
They want to hear that for the 100th time this week.
Boys. Why aren't you playing the new Bush song?
Right.
Why are you talking? People want to hear Gavin. Boys.
Yeah, he didn't
What a mess.
He didn't really get it at the time, did he?
We didn't get it at the time.
And he
That
had
was
the
brand new.
He had one of the first Escalades, and I'm not. When I tell you this guy was no more than 5'4", man. I don't know how tall he's claiming to be.
Yeah, it was like a Suburban.
A Suburban, right?
It was giant.
And he had like a rope ladder just so he could climb into the thing.
He couldn't even get into it. He couldn't get into it. I don't think anyone ever saw him get in or out of it. You just saw him in it.
Right.
Where he was really up high. He'd pull up next to your car. Look down high, boys. Look how tall I am in my vehicle. Boy.
Another career we ruined, I think.
Oh.
He had it made before he hired us.
Yeah, we kind of ruined it with the mayor's dead thing. Everyone broke contacts with him. That's what we do with these people. They spend their whole lives building up their career to get the respect and prestige and get the respect of politicians and people of power in media, and they're able to go to parties and mingle with these people and build
like
their
somebody.
power base and actually use it to progress in their career. Well, we
and
make
their
it
social lives.
Oh, yeah. Their socializer are a huge part
So
of
they
their
could brag
their
that
career,
they
too.
were having cocktails with Mayor Menino. Who cares?
I was with Mayor Menino at a fundraiser yesterday,
cares?
and me and the mayor were speaking about blah, blah, blah. Well, we make it so that they can no longer attend these events because no one wants this embarrassing ass who hired us idiots at their parties.
Make no mistake about it. We had a love-hate relationship with Bruce Mittman.
Yeah.
We really liked the guy, and we also hated him for some of the things he did.
He didn't get the show. He didn't get the vision we had.
He kind of got it. He just wasn't willing to, really see what it could do,
You know, when Liz Wilde wanted to talk, I told her to shut up and play the music. You boys are going to have to learn the same thing. Yeah, that's going to happen.
The best part when we did the mayor prank thing, where we told all of Boston that the mayor died in a fiery car wreck for April Fools.
Yeah.
Was when Bruce Mittman tried to smooth things over and he hired a photographer and he started stalking the mayor. It's one of my favorite stories ever.
Because he wanted that shot of the mayor and him shaking hands or talking to each other to put it in the paper.
I got to give him, credit. He definitely tried to smooth things over.
Because he thought that would help with, if people saw him and the mayor in the paper, they would be like, oh, I guess you patch things up. I could start inviting Brucey over to my parties again and,
right.
I invite him over to business ventures and anything else.
Right.
But he was stalking the mayor with a cameraman.
He found out, the mayor's, press junket for that day. Like, he's going to be at the Waldorf or what have you.
He's going to be driving in Dealey Plaza today with a convertible top down. I'll wait in the book depository, boys.
He went down with us, He didn't wimp out like Dave Dickless.
Oh.
Dave Dickless, our program director, who threw us under the bus first chance he got. Bruce Mittman went down with the ship. Big time. I got to acknowledge that. So he was the general manager of the radio station, and he's stalking the mayor, and he literally hid in a bush with a photographer. And then the mayor jumps out of wherever he was, a restaurant. I don't remember exactly. He's doing some kind of stupid thing.
He's always around that.
And then Bruce Mittman jumps out of the bush.
Boo.
And the photographer, it was a PR firm, so the photographer's waiting in wait. And then Bruce runs up to him and basically shakes his hand like he's just some citizen on the street.
Yeah.
Not even saying who he is. And then all of a sudden the photographer, click, 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 click. And it made some rag up there, him shaking the hand of the mayor.
That'd be great to do if you're like some Nazi organization. Just run up and take a picture of somebody with a politician. Because if you jump out, they'd just be smiling and, oh, how you doing? You're shaking hands, you're both smiling, take the picture.
Yeah.
Here he is with a mobster.
So that was Bruce's idea, because we were the stars of the radio station. He couldn't afford to lose us at the time. So he was trying everything to try to, save us from getting fired, but we knew we were going to get fired for that thing.
Wasn't going to work.
And then stupid Dave Dickless with his pie idea.
What an
And then
ass.
then the cancer kids idea.
They were trying everything to try to get our image to be better than it was.
Right.
Because we were just dirt. I mean, think of the St. Pat's thing. It was pretty similar, the whole mood of the
I still think the mayor
state.
thing was worse than the St. Pat's thing.
Yeah. I mean,
In hindsight, Anthony, in hindsight.
lighting the match. The people were pissed at us. They were angry. They saw no humor in it. Same situation. So they were trying to get our image up. One thing they wanted to do was to put us in. Dave Dickless, our program director, who was just a spineless, wormy ass, wanted us to be put in old-timey stocks. When someone was bad in the central square, they would put you in the wooden stocks and have the mayor throw pies at our face. This went so far that they bought the pies. They bought hundreds of pies that were going to be hurled at our face.
And they don't even know how to buy the pies right, because that old pie trick when you see it on old TV and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a pie tin
and whipped cream.
No, they bought real pies.
The
real heavy kind with
hundreds of pies. This is before they spoke to the mayor or before they spoke to us. They had purchased all these pies. They're trying to get the mayor to go along with it. The mayor's office is just like, we're not even entertaining this. No. We get on the air when we got wind of it and said there is no way in hell we are ever going to have anyone throw pies at us.
We're not going to compromise ourselves.
Yeah, we were all... Dave Dickless, red face, comes in pissed off as all hell. You don't tell me what you're going to do or not do. I'm your and boss, and you will do what I tell you.
That's exactly how
He
he
was
sounded.
screaming. His face was so red. We're in shock.
He kind of had that Hillary speech pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Started off kind of calm.
Will do what I tell you. Screaming.
Like Mommy Dearest, no joke. Like the male version
Tina!
of Mommy Dearest.
Get the pies,
Get the
Tina. It was a mess. Yeah, they had gone through all this trouble. It wasn't going to work. So plan B.
Because we just knew it wasn't going to work.
Of course it wasn't.
It's probably, I've been doing radio a long time, probably the stupidest idea. Even worse than broadcasting live in front of the world's largest Pop-Tart, Anthony.
Dude, they would have had, the Boston Herald would have been Opie and Dopey fired, like it was.
Right.
But instead of pictures of us in the studio, there would have been pictures of us with pie on our face.
Right.
Like, it's the same end result. We were out the door. There was no way getting pies thrown on our face was saving us from this situation.
At least we look cool being with our pictures on the front pages of the Boston Herald, looking all fired
like
and stuff.
flipping the bird or something. You
Although
know,
I think they had a picture of you on the cover of the Boston Herald, you and your stupid
with the
fire
extinguisher. Oh, brilliant! What a great photo that was. Another brilliant moment where it was like, take the picture and don't get any approval, just put it out.
And not thinking that it would ever be used on the front page of a paper.
There it was. Oh, it was awful. Awful. But you know what that would have been? Both of us in stocks with the pies in our face.
It's just dripping off our faces.
They'd have had some wacky little caption that tied in the pies to us being fired that I'm not clever enough to think of right now.
Opie and Anthony fired.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
That's
not
a
bad.
good one. Fired. Oh,
So
very funny.
So we yelled back at Dave. I don't do well when people yell at me
No.
at all. I don't think most people do, but
Right.
it just brings me back to a place I'd rather not visit, so I just lose my mind. So then they're like, okay, obviously they're not going to do that, but they're the stars of our radio station. We still got to figure this out. So their plan B was to take the pies to a children's hospital
This is their great plan B.
and send that same photographer from the PR firm,
Yeah, the one that jumped out with Brucey.
and we would deliver the pies, the 100 pies, to the kids at this fine hospital. And then we'd all get a photo op, us with a pile of pies and a bunch of kids behind us and around us, and Opie and Anthony do a good thing for the cancer kids is what it turned out to be.
It was pretty much terminally ill children.
So we're sitting there in the lobby with all these pies on forklifts, and honestly, we were dazed and confused. We were like, "What the hell is going on?" We're kind of going. I got to admit, we're sort of going with the idea at first.
Well, it was all damage control. And we were caught up in this whole whirlwind of trying to save our jobs and trying to do what the station and the company said, trying to keep our careers going. So, yeah, we got caught up in this, and we're listening to every idea that comes around, even though we weren't going to do the pie thing. Mm-hmm. This was one of those things. All right, guys, you're supposed to be here at this such and such time with the pies. Go, and a photographer will be there. And we're like, all right. And then as we're sitting there in the waiting room, and these little terminally ill children are coming around.
They're coming from every hallway and every doorway. I mean, just every little nook and cranny. They're coming from behind couches. I mean, they're just gathering in the lobby for the big presentation of the pies.
It starts occurring to Opie and I that this is one of the scummiest things that has ever been concocted to try to save someone's ass. It was me and you, and it hit us at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We looked and it was like, do you feel good about this? No.
Not at all.
Yeah, this is the wrong. So we're going to exploit this situation and these kids to try to save our asses.
So Anthony and I are definitely looking at each other like, oh man, this just is not adding up. This isn't good. And remember, some of the kids took like extra long time because they were barely functioning anymore, and they were in wheelchairs with oxygen.
Oh, it was horrible.
And then just about everyone's there, but remember we had to wait for Billy or whatever that guy's name was, the kid. Who was just the worst off, and they had to have like 3 or 4 nurses that had to be with him at all times, because just moving him from the room to the lobby was a really big deal. Remember?
Pretty risky move,
but it's worth it because he'll have a little smile on his face when he sees the pile of pies. It was I was going to say it was the Christmas season, and it wasn't, obviously, because we got fired in April. But the reason why I'm thinking it was the Christmas season is all of a sudden now Billy's there, and he's got his nurses around him, making sure, reading all the meters on all his equipment that's keeping him alive.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, one of the ladies in charge goes, okay, now we're going to have a few sing-alongs. And then they started singing Christmas carols.
Christmas carols.
And
now, my goodness, that's a little out of place, isn't it?
Christmas carols, it's April.
It's spring.
Right.
This isn't the time to sing Christmas carols.
It's springtime in Boston.
Right.
So then, what was the song the girl sang? The
Little Silent Night.
It was Silent Night?
Of course.
It was it was Cindy Who from Whoville,
Little
basically.
Cindy Who from Whoville.
It was basically Cindy. Yeah, she was beautiful. Beautiful little blonde child. And she's singing Silent Night.
All she needed was a little cowboy hat and 6 shooters by her side, those little boots, and a garrote around her neck.
Jesus. So then... All right, Jimmy, calm down. Jesus. So then she's singing a beautiful rendition of Silent Night. I'm trying to hurry up because we have to take 2 breaks an hour, and it's not working out too well this hour.
All right.
We're going to have to, break, come back for 2 minutes, and break again, I guess.
Uh-oh.
So then she's singing Silent Night.
Yeah.
And one of the nurse ladies, kind of leans over to me, and she goes, you know what? I go, what? You see Cindy singing there? I'm like, yeah, real nice. I could appreciate some nice singing, right?
Sure.
She goes, she's not going to make it to this Christmas.
She won't see Christmas. That's why they were singing Christmas songs.
Right.
Because they weren't going to be there for the real Christmas.
And I think you heard at the same time, because that was where we basically say, that's it!
Cut!
Not even cut, because we didn't want the kids to know what was going on, but now we understand that this is really, really an awful idea.
And we took our anger out on the photographer.
Yeah, we go to the photographer right up to his face. We go, look.
Get out of here.
We go, get the F out of here. One picture. We're leaving right now, unless you leave.
Yeah.
Not one picture will be taken of us, with the cancer kids, so it could be in a publication somewhere.
Try to bail our sorry, dopey asses
so
out of trouble.
So then the PR guy is calling boys, our boss Bruce Mittman and all that.
But boys, this would be a great photo op.
So we, nicely gave them the pies without a photographer. We thanked them for having us, blah, blah, blah. Enjoyed the pies. Happy holidays, even though it's April. Mm-hmm. And we were out of there.
Here's a pie and a satin pillow.
And we were out of there.
That's right. Oh,
it was awful. Absolutely awful.
But that's another, Dave Dickless great idea. Let's exploit some dying children to try to bail Opie and Anthony out of trouble. Ugh.
So,
at least they didn't come up with those wacky ideas after the church episode.
No. We have so many stories, and I don't know. We're getting close to really figuring out this book, I guess.
Yeah, there's some interesting
All right.
stuff.
Well, we're going to have to take a break, come back for a quick one, and then break again, I guess, right? Oy.
This is Bernie Getz.
Man, you better give me a 20 or something.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony.